Hi everyone. As the title suggests, I will be doing a review on, well, minoxidil in general, but I use the Kirkland, if you can see, Kirkland minoxidil 5%, and how I got started and what I got to say about it. So, without further ado, I started losing my hair around 18. um, I started having a change in texture. And at the time, it did not look like hair loss at all. It just basically looked like my hair had like a really intricate perm. Um, I had these interesting wave patterns that actually looked nice. I actually really liked them, but I didn't realize what was going on was my hair was starting to thin, and because I have such thick hair, the changes in texture actually weakened the hair a little bit, almost like a perm would, and some of the curl patterns were changing. I didn't realize how bad it was until till I got to about 25, and I remember visiting a friend in Maryland, and he said to me, he took a picture of me, this which is why I don't have any before and after pictures. He said to me, he's like, you realize like the middle of your hair is completely gone. He's like, was that intentional? And I looked at the picture, and I felt sad. I remember feeling pretty depressed because I was only 25, 26 thereabout, and I was like, damn, I'm gonna have to go bald now. And at the time, I didn't have this kind of beard to pull it off, so I remember feeling really insecure. And I went home and I googled um, Rogaine. And I remember ordering a bottle of Rogaine for $28 for the month supply, and I used it, and it worked. But after the month, I was like, it's just too expensive, and I'm not going to do that. And so I went another year without using Rogaine, and it got way worse. I lost everything in this side, in the middle, and I decided to try again. And so I ordered Rogaine again, but I did not look at the actual product bottle. I just Googled, I look on eBay and I look for, um, what you call it, Rogaine foam, and it was pretty cheap. It was like $10. And I remember two bottles came, and then I look at it, I was like, this is not Rogaine, this says Kirkland minoxidil. But anyway, I went ahead and I used it, and I started using it morning and night. And I remember I would get itching, which I didn't like, and I'd get a lot of like flakiness, but I remember the hair grew. And I remember one day I was having a conversation with my supervisor at work, and I was telling her I use this product, and she's like, but you don't have hair loss. And I was like, yes, I do. And she's like, I don't see it. As time went on, I started noticing that I was having a rebound effect. So what was going on was no matter how much minoxidil I used, it wasn't stopping the hair loss. It was actually speeding up. And so I started finding other ways to deal with my hair loss, which included using hair fibers, cutting my hair really low, um, trying to make it look like the low hair is intentional. And I discovered this one brand. I don't remember the name of it, but it was a 10% instead of a 5% strength. And it really worked. I mean, it really worked. And then I couldn't find that brand anymore. And I found the Rite Aid brand with a little spray, which I liked. And that grew my hair really well. In fact, I remember when I was doing my citizenship, I had so much hair, especially at the front, that was difficult for me to style in the morning. And so I basically just kind of got it damp and kind of did this wild style thing. But then when I got a second batch from Rite Aid, it was starting to not do anything. And I found this other brand, which, as I said, I don't remember the name of this other brand either. And it was 10%, and it started burning my scalp so bad. It was so bad to the point where sometimes I'll wake up and there'll be blood in my fingernails from scratching. And I would try various things, whether it be using a fine-tooth comb and combing out the flakes or washing my hair twice a day. It just wasn't helping. And so I stopped using it, and I went back to Kirkland. At this time, Kirkland, about last part of 2020, Kirkland was still causing inflammation. And I remember looking in the mirror with my double mirror, because I cut my own hair. I could see the inflammation on my scalp, and I realized too, the inflammation, between the inflammation and trying to get the flakes out, I was pulling out the hairs. So that's another thing with using minoxidil. The new hair growth. So once you start using it, some of your original hair, like the thinning hair, they'll fall out and your hair will grow out. I call these the minoxidil hair because it's triggered by minoxidil, and these hairs are not as strong. They're not anchored in the root as strong as your natural hair would have been. It's still your natural hair, but you know what I mean. And so trying to comb it all the time and like get, trying to get the flakes out, those would take the hairs out. And then of course, if my scalp looked that inflamed, I can only imagine on a microscopic level that is actually killing the follicles. And so I didn't know what to do. I just kind of started thinking to myself, well, maybe I'm gonna have to just finally just let it go and just buzz it. And I remember about December, I was in a severe depression, and so I forgot to order minoxidil, and so I had a little left in a bottle, and I put some water in it, and I started using it. And by the time the batch came, I for some reason did the same thing to the batch, and I realized that the itching was gone. I also use the apple cider trick, which is to kind of soak your scalp every once in a while, and it helps with, it helps to soothe the effects of the minoxidil, and that helped as well. So I haven't had itching in 4 months. My hair has, it may not look like anything major, but if you were able to see what I looked like first and what I probably would look like if I didn't use it, this is amazing. I mean, I amaze myself all the time that I can actually do haircuts and not get up every day and just buzz my hair. Because that's what my destiny was. And I am unfortunate because I have male pattern baldness on both sides. My mom's dad had no hair. All her brothers have no hair. My dad had none, and all his brothers had none. So it was inevitable. It even affects the females. Like they thin at the temples and in the middle just the same. So you can only imagine for the males. So when I visit Jamaica, like a lot of people are like, oh my God, you still have your hair because you were losing in high school. So I know it's pretty effective. Now, brand, as it relates to brand, you have to try it on your own. Because I think sometimes chemically, even with different brands, they may change depending on the batch. I'm not sure. But as it relates to side effects, first of all, I must say, I like this because I can saturate the areas that have the baldness. I don't like this spray because it gets everywhere and your hair is completely wet and you gotta try to pat it down. You won't get the effects unless you saturate your scalp with it. Okay, the hairs are dead. You need to get it to the follicles. And you also need to make sure your scalp is clean, because if there is a buildup of anything, whether it be oil, dead cells, or what product, it's not gonna get to the follicles and the hair is gonna fall out. It may be difficult to style the hair because when I try to use gel, these ones on the side are resilient, the middle just falls flat. I also use coconut oil to protect the actual hair, like the hair that's already there. Coconut oil prevents protein loss through washing or whatever. And I also use castor oil because it's thicker oil and helps with volume. I also use a thickening shampoo and conditioner, which allows me to wash my hair more frequently, and it also thickens the hair that's already there. I would say for me, the only side effect I had, or only two side effects, was the itching and burning and the growth of hair where there wasn't. So now my beard grows all the way up here. That started after minoxidil. My eyebrows thickened significantly after I started using minoxidil. And the hairs, as I said on here, they were always thinner, but now they're thicker. And I've heard of people using minoxidil to grow their beard. Now the thing that because I've done my research on this, if you were a person that was never going to have a beard, period, it's likely not going to work. But if you were going to eventually get one, it just speeds up the process. Another thing is if you stop using it, the hairs will fall out. As for the beard, I don't know. I've heard some people say they stopped using it, it just stayed where it was. But I know for the hair, like the moment you stop, because you're fighting with your biology. Okay, you're fighting, your body is telling the hairs to stop growing, it's killing them off. You're fighting them by using minoxidil, which increases blood flow to hair follicles. So the moment you stop, your body will take over. It's almost like someone that is naturally skinny and is a hard gainer. As long as you keep working out, you'll kind of maintain your muscle mass. But the moment you stop, you go back to being skinny because you're fighting with your biology. But that's basically it. I've been using it for 8 years. I haven't had any medical problems. I know some people say it makes them lightheaded. Maybe I got used to it. I don't know. But I don't know. I'm speaking fast because I'm drinking coffee. midnight. But yeah, if you have any side effects that I didn't discuss in this video, you can go ahead and leave them in the comment section, and we can open up a conversation about minoxidil.